Hello everyone, it's Dr. Plague, just popping in for a moment. I had found these two from somewhere or another, I shan't say, but they were a little short, but I really liked both of them, and I wanted to read both of them for you. They're by a writer named WillaminaJames, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. The first one is called The Woman Who Stole My Green Eyes, or The Crone. Who is that in the mirror? The wrinkled old lady who stole my eyes. She sees me inside, just as I see her by my bedside. Every move she makes is painstakingly, agonizingly slow, full of self-doubt and regret. There is gray in her hair, gray like her mind. I watch as age, ever ravenous, savagely, mercilessly, he bites down hard upon her, and bit by bit, he swallows her up. And all that she ever was, is, and ever possibly could be, is thrown up, twisted violently, ripped apart, and tossed back in time. As he crouches, he chews on what is left of her, masticating, unashamedly, noisily. He slaps his tongue to savor her sublime suffering, each delectable morsel. The old lady that stole my green eyes. She fights on, her tenacity ever present. She kicks, she struggles, she urges her mind to fire up. There is more to her than her gray existence. She strives again and again, but what was once a roaring, white-hot inferno is now sadly nothing more than a glowing ember. Gently, she cups unsteady hands around and cradles what is left of herself. She blows softly, sighing to the outside world, slowly, breathing life back into herself. The ember glows brightly. I push forward, eagerly, wanting to make myself known to her. Please, please, I'm here. I'm still here. A tiny flame flickers for a moment, taking up a small sliver of time, my face becoming illuminated in the gray mist of her mind. My presence slowly seeps into her, the old lady who stole my green eyes. Sits immobile, unblinking, 1,000-yard stare, her breath ragged and shallow, as she desperately tries again and again to fan the flames of consciousness. She sees me, arms outstretched, lovingly reaching out through translucent veins, gathering the ingredients for new life, gathering dust and hum from dying stars, from planets unknown and galaxies collapsing, weaving through those strands of time, rewriting history itself, stitching and weaving together new paths to follow, new destinies, new outcomes, strength anew. And as gray mists of time swirl around all of us, engulfing us, our hands clasped together, locked, she draws me into the mother's embrace I wish I could have had, but never knew existed. She draws me into her heart, her mind, her body, her essence, her hum. You're home now, she whispers softly. You are my own. I'll take care of you. I love you. Always. And now, The Reaper, also by WillaminaJames. Enjoy. Sent away. Why? She did not know. Only that her mother and father had things to do. Things that did not involve her, or so she thought. Sent to stay with strangers. A man, a woman, a son. A man far too old to be living with his mummy and daddy. A quick shove and thank you so much. Her parents were gone. The girl wondered why she was here. The lady had a big red face and big red hands. She bustled busily, getting food ready, elbowing the girl out of the way as she reached for something or another. The girl eyed the big angry-looking man pensively. His hum stank. His body stank of onions and fishes, of 3-day-old roadkill. His face was covered in a black beard. He looked the girl up and down, slowly drinking in her innocence, greedily. Ah, the girl knew that look. She knew it well by now. The Blackbeard man shifted in his chair uncomfortably, got up suddenly, began shouting at his big red-faced wife, his food. He wanted it. Now the kitchen door slammed into his frame, and the little girl jumped. She hated the noise, and the noise that followed. She knew, like she always knew. She knew that the man had hit his wife's big red face. She knew that things were hard, and that she had made them so. She smiled and turned to the sun. She smiled the sort of smile that had no business being on the face of an 8-year-old. Only 8 years old, only little. He was tall, grown up, like the boys next door. He smiled back. She held out her little arms, and he lifted her up onto his knee. Groaning softly, she began to get comfy. Horsey, horsey, clip-clop, clip-clop, ride the horsey, the girl sang quietly. She leaned forward, and the young man gripped her hips. The young man had light hair. He smelled of soap and sadness and fear. He wore a wedding ring, and the little girl hoped his wife wouldn't want to play with her. This was her fault. This always happened. She made it happen. The Blackbeard sat at the kitchen table, eyes bulging, shirt open, veins popping, panting. He stank, his stench permeating every breath he took. The little girl felt a tingle in her stomach at the very first swirl of darkness began winding within her hum, like a drop of ink into a glass of water. Plip. It began to swell. It began to grow. The girl looked at the man, her emerald eyes glittering. Inside herself, she started to hope. Mummy, after all, had told her often, you make things happen with your badness. You make people ill. You're like poison. You bring death and sadness. Like cancer. The girl thought about the man's heart. She squeezed. She thought about Blackbeard the pirate, looked at his leg, and squeezed. She looked at the woman, still wiping the salty tears from her face and blouse. They mixed with the crimson snot running down her face. Yuck, thought the girl, though she hoped the same fate did not await her somewhere down the line. She knew, like she always knew, it would be so much worse. You're still here. Thanks for stopping by. Dr. Plague here. Always a pleasure to see all my new and old viewers coming by for another one of my spooky tales. If you'd like to support the show, you can always take part in one of our channel offers through Fume or Aura, or you can just click on another video when they come up. I'd really appreciate it. For our newer viewers, we also have lots of playlists and other things if you'd like to get caught up. I know some of my series have been going on for quite a while. If you'd like to get my latest book, there's a link down below that'll take you to my Amazon page. Towesey Homestead just came out, so if that's something you'd like to get your hands on, go ahead and have a look down there. If you'd like a signed copy, you can go ahead and email me from my email address on the site, and I'll get with you about shipping information and ship you a signed copy. If you'd like to support the channel in a more monetary fashion, we also have membership through YouTube, and we've got a Patreon that you can get the information for in the description. We have lots of tiers and everything to suit your needs. Patrons that support on the $10 tier, that's our Ghostly Reader tier, get a book anytime I write one, signed and on their doorstep. As you may have noticed, there's a list of patrons and members on the screen, and I'd like to personally thank every one of them for taking a hand in the future of this channel. Well, that's enough for tonight. Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful evening.